So it probably started in April when Grace was in 5th grade.
In 5th grade, I passed out during mass at my school.
I got a call from the school, said that Grace had passed out and I needed to come and get her.
I went to different doctors and I asked, my parents were confused what was going on.
That night they admitted her because they just didn't know what was happening with her.
But then my mom decided to take me down to my sister's neurologist at Blank Children's Hospital, and right away she just said, "You have chronic daily migraines."
The minute we got down there, got in the office, our doctor, Dr. Nirawong, said Grace has migraines. And so she started us on some medicine, Topamax, which is just a preventative medicine. And she said, you know, Grace, if you feel worse, come back, we'll figure something out. Well, it wasn't even probably a week later that Grace was not feeling well. So they admitted her to Blank Children's Hospital, and they had asked us if they could try a new medicine on her. And we were sure, because with our oldest daughter, she would be there sometimes a week at a time. And they gave Grace this new medicine and it worked amazing within 30 minutes. But what it did was it put Grace to sleep immediately. When she woke up, she's like, "Oh, I feel great." We're like, wow, that was amazing. And so they kept her overnight because they wanted to do an MRI, and they did some more tests, make sure that she didn't have a brain tumor or anything like that. So we were there for about 2 days for that.
So I was happy to leave because it's not very fun being at a hospital for a couple days. But when I was leaving, I had some emotions for the other patients that had to stay there because I felt very, I guess you can say, upset a little bit.
Grace and I went up on the 5th floor of the Children's Hospital. There's games and puzzles and all kinds of things up there. And Grace just felt that there wasn't enough things for her age group.
I just wanted to help out, maybe make their stay a little bit better.
After a stay in the hospital, 10-year-old Grace McCunn set out to raise money for kids who have to stay during the holidays. She worked hard for months to reach her goal. Local 5's Claire Powell has her story, which you'll see only on Local 5.
How many coloring books did we get?
At 10 years old, you usually think about what you want for Christmas. But not Grace McCunn.
I just want to make their Christmas.
The first time Grace came to Blank Children's Hospital was this July.
I was in that first room.
It was for her severe migraines.
I was here on my birthday. Didn't like that.
Days later, when she was feeling better, she noticed someone who wasn't.
When I was leaving, I saw this older boy. I was leaving, but he wasn't.
So when we got home, she asked us if she could do a lemonade stand, and we're like, yeah, sure, why not?
I just thought maybe raising money to get some toys, give to some of the floors at the hospital, it would be okay, and that would help out as much as possible.
So she made her own homemade signs, went down to our corner and started selling lemonade down there. And I had, you know, it was just a lemonade stand.
Oh, I just asked my mom if I could do a lemonade stand to raise money for Blank. Yeah, that's it. I don't know.
Since August, Grace has taken to the same busy corner in Ames, aiming to reach her goal of $1,000, selling lemonade when it was sweltering hot.
It's easy, it's fun, you can do it with your friends. You get to make lemonade, you get to drink lemonade, you get to sell lemonade.
So at Blank Children's, we rely very heavily on the support of our community to help do what we do every day here for kids and families. And we want to make sure that we say thank you in every way possible. And one of the ways that we do that is through this donor wall.
She probably raised $100 or more. And then we took the check down to Blank to give it to him.
When I dropped off the first check for $100 at Blank, I kept asking them how much a brick is, and since it was just, I was at $100, they kept trying to move me away from the bricks.
Her very first time she came in with her bag of money from her lemonade stand, she was looking at the wall, and she said, "How much does one of these bricks cost?"
She said, how did these people get their names on this wall? And Brenna was like, "Oh, Grace, let's go over here and look at this scrolling wall." And she said, "You know, Grace, if you, through the years, if you raise $1,000, we'll let it accumulate and you can get your name on the scrolling wall for $1,000.
So they kept moving me to a screen, like a touch screen that has your name, and they were like, "Oh, you can, if you hit $1,000, you can get it." But I was so focused on this brick.
Well, Grace kept going back over to that wall and she's like, "How do you get your name? How do people get these names?"
And they said, "Well, this smaller one here, it's for $10,000 cumulative giving, which means you can start now and give for the rest of your life."
And Brenna told her, and Grace puts her hands on her hips and she turns around and said, "I'll be back."
And Grace looked at us and she put her hand on her hip and she said, "I will be back."
It was just in my mind after that I told them that I'd be back to get that brick. And so, yeah.
And so I was like, oh no.
And so Grace then from that point forward was working and working and working for this brick.
For my first stand, I raised $200.
And hot chocolate when it's not.
Last weekend when she was out there, it was 30 degrees.
Hot chocolate stand, we got like $172.
Then at her school, she set up a toy drive she thought would be a flop.
Surprisingly overflowing.
My mom mentioned it, and then we talked to the principal, asked him if we could have a little bin in the hallway and have people put in toys that they donated.
The day before Christmas, Grace was a natural Mrs. Claus, making her final deliveries,
I bet the little kids would like this one.
unloading bag after bag, and check after check.
I'm very proud of Grace, of what she has accomplished.
Oh, I'm at $61 or $64, something in the 60s.
And she's the one who wants to do this for the children, for the hospital. Grace has done toy drives. She's cut her hair for Locks of Love twice. She's got her school involved in a coin drive where the kids will bring in their change for the day. You know, we want the kids to be involved.
For a little girl with a very big heart that sits on her sleeve,
Really crazy that I raised this much money, and I didn't know I was going to do that.
this is the best Christmas gift she could get or give, and the best promise she's ever kept.
I don't want to break that promise because it's a good promise.
Mel in the morning on 1430 KASI. As always, I got to talking with Grace and Mom, and I forgot I had to put music on the air so that we could talk together here. How are you, Grace?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. It's been a year.
Yeah,
It's been a year.
it's been a year.
Yeah. How old are you now? 12?
12, turning 13 in August.
I am too. What date?
August 5th.
Well, I'm not turning 13, but I have a birthday in
Yeah,
August.
yeah.
Yeah. Would you have thought I was 13 just by looking at me, or just?
Maybe.
No, because obviously 13-year-olds are more mature than I am, right? How come you've done, I didn't know why you're in school. You've done so much. I think we've got your profession here, helping out other people.
Maybe.
Maybe?
I
Is
like
that what
it.
is that what you want to do? I mean, what do you want to do when you...
When I'm older, I kind of want to be an attorney.
An attorney? You'll
Yeah.
probably meet up with me again. I'll need you to defend me against something out there. That's for sure.
Grace is she's very focused, very driven. She gets something in her mind, and as I call it, she just hounds on it until it's done, or hounds at you she's persistent. That's a good word. She's persistent, and she just keeps going. Just keeps going until she fulfills that obligation.
Grace is a rock star. I don't know if there's a better word for it. I've always said one of the best things about Grace is not only the difference she's made through fundraising, but also how much of an impact she has had by inspiring other kids. We've had her speak at some of our donor recognition events. She's spoken to her peers, and every single one of them has left saying, I want to do more next year. I want to get my friends together. I want to make a difference too.
Last summer, I asked my parents if we could do a 5K race. In about 3 weeks, we put together the Amazing Grace Lemonade Race, and we had 130 racers. I was able to present a check for over $10,000 from my race. We are planning a second annual Amazing Grace Lemonade Race this summer. It's July 28th.
Grace has done a lot of different media interviews. She's been the source and has no problem talking in front of an audience of any size. She actually spoke at our Festival of Trees and Lights Gala, which is about 700 people, one of our largest fundraisers, and got up and said, if I raise $10,000, what are you gonna do? And do you really wanna be shown up by an 11-year-old? So I think it's safe to say that not only has Grace made an impact through her fundraising efforts, there's been a big ripple effect, and she's made an impact through inspiring other donors as well.
Oh, I get nervous a lot. People ask me, a lot of my friends ask me if I get nervous talking to like news reporters, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess so, but.
She's very mature. She speaks in sound bites. I think she has some sort of career in media, if that's the path that she wants to go, or fundraising. We would love to have her on a board or on one of our committees.
You want to get done before you get there, and you certainly started this at an early age. And what we're talking about, I keep teasing you folks, but we got together last year, and it was for the 5K for the first one.
Yep.
First one out at Ada Hayden.
Oh, yeah.
The first race, gosh, everything happened so fast.
We were at a friend's house, and my mom was like, maybe we should like do something bigger and bolder. And
I think I said to Grace and our friends, you know, maybe we should do a 5K, and Grace was like, yeah, I think we should.
We saw how a ton of other people, they were doing these races and making a big impact. And so we were sitting down with our friends Keo and Kelly, and my mom brought up the idea. She was like, well, maybe we could try a race. Maybe we could just try it, see how it goes. And then that kind of just progressed. And
we had no experience in this whatsoever, and I thought, how do you put on a 5K? I don't know.
we had a little short time to do this, so then we kind of the next day just went and did it.
So I called the city of Ames and I said, is Ada Hayden available? And they gave us some dates, and they're like, okay, this is the date. I said, will you save that date for me?
We had a website where people could sign up.
We have a friend who does graphic design, and he said, well, I'll help you. Let's put some things, a logo together. And somebody suggested where we could get the flyers made, and we did it in 30 days. And it was just so fast. And Grace was amazing because she's the one that would go to all of the businesses, and she took flyers to them, told them what she was doing, gave them a flyer, we took pictures with them, and it just evolved from there.
Yeah, we had sponsors. I went around and asked people if they would be a sponsor.
I can't believe you'd be that bold. You're such a quiet individual.
Wow.
Is it like lemonade and advice? Do you want to run one of those kinds of stands or something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah. The Amazing Grace race, can I call it that? I know it's
Yeah.
lemonade race,
Yeah.
but I think it's the Amazing Grace lemonade race.
Yeah.
It's been amazing because This year, okay, we started earlier.
On Grace, she is the first time she came in here, and she told me her story and what she'd done, and then showed me this flyer, and I read the story. But I was first of all blown away, and I just don't think I've met anybody that has inspired me so much in just a short period of time. And Grace is just one of those rare moments in time where you just can't wait to see her come through your door again because of the energy. I know sometimes there's just not good enough words to describe how someone can affect change in the community and just a single person, and she's done that. So if her goal was to just change one person, she's already reached it.
Wherever Grace goes now, she knew who she wanted to go talk to, and people just know what she's doing, what it's about, why she's doing it. It's not about Grace, it's about the children, it's about the kids. You need to make a difference. Every little bit counts, you know.
And we have an Instagram page. I'm putting on a 5K race on July 28th.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if you would be interested in sponsoring my race.
I had an opportunity to know Grace before the race got initiated, and just knowing that she was a good kid. They're dancing behind me, and it's not working. To have somebody young to be motivated to do charitable work, and again, the story itself just was inspirational, and it was something that it just was easy to get behind.
We're doing it for the kids, for their families.
Here's our start line, and that's where they're going to start. They're going to head out that direction. Does anybody know Grace? This is Grace's lemonade race. This is Grace's lemonade race.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody coming out and supporting Blaine Children's Hospital.
The pace setter right there.
Wait, do I start it?
When you gotta say runner set. You gotta say runner set really loud, and then blow the horn. George got a late start. Look at him.
And I started raising money for Blaine Children's Hospital 2 years ago by selling lemonade and hot chocolate. The reason I started raising money for Blank is because I experienced what it was like to be in the hospital with chronic daily migraines. And when I got to leave the hospital, but the other kids had to stay, I felt bad, like it was hard for me. I wanted to help by making their hospital stay a little bit better. And so again, I'd like to thank everybody for your support, especially to my sponsors. So thank you.
For a great cause. All benefits go to things that we believe in and just supporting the community. And then you have little entrepreneurs like Grace working really hard to put something like this together. I mean, you see the football team out here, the soccer team out here. The turnout's been amazing. It's easy to support. There's no reason not to. So that's why George and myself came out here today.
I think everything that Grace stands for, with everything that she's done with Blank Children's Hospital, and at her age to be so mature to put things together like this, I think I definitely want to be someone in this community that stands by that and supports that. And I couldn't be more happy for her and people that put together this event. This is an awesome event. I had a lot of fun. It was tiring, but I'm glad that I came out to it.
A sense of relief, but now we're into, okay, what can we do better for next year? What can we change? How can we help people in a different way? What can we do to help them?
Grace, do you want to get in there with Grandma?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. We had fun. It was fun. People were putting it on Twitter last night. It was on Instagram. It was on Facebook. People were so excited. We've had people asking, hey, is there any more t-shirts left? What can we do? How can we donate? It makes me feel great.
Every year, the Association of Fundraising Professionals recognizes different philanthropists in our community and the difference that they've been able to make. And one of those awards is for the Outstanding Youth in Philanthropy. And we actually had to check. We were hoping there wasn't an age cutoff. A lot of times it's a high school student or someone that has had a few more years to accomplish things, and thankfully there wasn't. And I could not think of anyone more deserving of the award than Grace. It is a full house of most of the business leaders in Des Moines, a lot of, obviously, the entire fundraising community. It's a large annual event that they sell out every year.
One of the great joys each year at this event is to recognize a young person who embodies philanthropy through their own leadership and actions to positively impact the lives of others. And today is no exception. And I am truly honored to be able to introduce to you Grace McCunn, our 2018 Outstanding Youth in Philanthropy recipient. Now, Grace's philanthropy is transformative and groundbreaking, not just because of the incredible creativity and fierce determination she brings to it, or the impact that it has, but also because she started this at the tender age of 11.
I think the one thing from working at a children's hospital and also helping coordinate our student donor program that you learn is to never underestimate kids.
She has also inspired many others, including other young people, to reach out and give.
And if they have set a goal, 9 times out of 10 they're going to achieve it. And so I think the cool thing about Grace is that she didn't undershoot her goal. And that's something I think as adults, you can get inside your head too much, you can talk yourself out of things. And being a kid or an 11-year-old, you just say, oh no, I'm gonna do it. And then they do it. And that's probably a lesson we all could learn.
She radiates compassion, drive, and the spunk to lead. She does it all with grace and a radiant smile, and she's wise beyond her years.
Hi. I'd like to thank the Association of Fundraising Professionals for this wonderful award. It is such an honor to be recognized today. I'd also like to thank Brenna Finnerty from Blank Children's Hospital.
Her story really tells itself. It's very hard not to be around her and not get excited about her mission. I think the best thing about Grace is she does it with passion. She's not doing it for the accolades. She's not doing it, to be in media stories or for awards or recognition. She's doing it because she genuinely wants to make a difference.
There's a quote that I think about when I'm raising money, and that quote is from Maya Angelou. And it's, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I think about this quote quite often because it reminds me that no matter what I do, people will always remember how I made them feel and what I did to make them feel that way. You know, there are many different steps and levels in fundraising, and I'm just a very small part of it, this process. I started out with selling lemonade on the corner of my street for 25 cents a cup, and it doesn't matter whether you raise 25 cents, $25, or $25,000. What matters is that you are doing something to impact and change and help someone in their time of need. No matter how young or old you are always evolving and able to make a change in someone's life. So if you dream it, you believe it, you will do it. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day, and it's your choice on how you spend those 24 hours. And remember, the holiday season is coming up soon, and you can do so many things to help others. The little things add up very quickly, and by doing something simple, for example, opening the door for someone, it will make their day, and they will smile, I promise. After you leave this event this afternoon, I challenge all of you to try and make someone smile. It doesn't take much to make someone stay. Thank you.
Grace has done more in her 2 years, and she's just 12 years old, than most people have done in their whole life, you know, by organizing. I'm proud of her because I'm just proud. Whew. Made me cry. Sorry.
Let them flow. All in the tears.
Sorry.
So then now, what is next for you? This race is done. What's next on your list of things to accomplish?
Another toy drive, another coin drive, maybe, I don't know. Something, just something. And more lemonade stands. Yeah.